Okay, so welcome to my first Anime Guardian video. So in this video, we're going to be showcasing the new summer units. So there's actually 5 new summer units, which I already have. So which first one is this Wing Ling, and they're all from banners, by the way. 4 of the characters are from banners, and 1 of the characters basically from Evolution. So we're going to be showcasing the 5 characters. So pretty much I already summoned all the 5 characters, or 4 characters actually, and the 5th character is this character, which is from one of those reincarnated as like a Demon King shows. So all we gotta do is actually evolve him. But yeah, they're actually really OP of a unit, and we're gonna be showcasing all of them today. So yeah, pretty much you guys can see from the summer limited units, I definitely recommend all these units. In my opinion, they're all really OP. And I mean, you guys, from my account, you guys can see I have like tons of like this Exodia trait, which is honestly the best trait. It's very similar to like Monarch in Anime Vanguard, if you guys heard of that. But yeah, it's actually pretty easy to get all these items. And in like a future video, I actually want to talk about why I think Anime Guardian is like the best tower defense game on the platform, in my personal opinion at least. Keep in mind that I have played ASCD, ASCDX, and Anime Vanguard. I personally haven't played Anime Last Stand, but I heard it's going to a downhill for some reason, so who knows. Alright, so we're pretty much going to go to upgrade one more time. I don't know what happened. I think the server reset it or something. But I think if you go to Evolution, where's the unit? There we go. So we select them. Alright, yeah, you guys pretty much need all these materials. Okay, I need these Frostbite and Void Moths. I'm going to get these 2 real quick. But yeah, you guys see these are all the materials that you need. So I'm going to get these 2 real quick. So to actually get these like moths and like these stuff, you pretty much do these double dungeon stuff. So I'm going to complete that really quick. Alright, so we're going to be attempting this with this team pretty much. So our goal is pretty much to farm with Senku till wave 3. Or not till wave 3, till upgrade 3 with both my Senkus. And then we're going to be back. Alright, and we are going to be pretty much placing down Judar. And he also does have artifacts on him, so just keep that in mind. We're also going to be using Poochie, which pretty much he does have his universe reset, of course, and we're going to be using that abilities as well. But just from that, you guys can see Judar, he is taking down the boss's HP just by himself. I could place down 2 more and this will go by faster. But pretty much each attack deals 1.5% of enemies max HP as bonus damage. So really OP of ability. Like I said, this ability will get nerfed in like the future. And this is just recorded like during the update, so probably after the update, this unit will most likely get nerfed. So yeah, we pretty much can place down 3 Judars, and then the boss's HP will go down like really slow. I probably should have been placing down 3 and then using Poochie's ability, because he pretty much reduces your like SPA. But other than that though, that's pretty much how to beat the event 101. In the future, I definitely need like a different unit, which I believe I need Rukia, which I don't have currently. I'm definitely going to get her soon, but that's for another video and stuff. So we're honestly going to be using Judar, and we're going to be using pretty much Poochie and like all that just to AFK farm this. And once I'm done with this, I'll probably be back and we're going to be showcasing the units. Alright, so we are pretty much back in the lobby now. I already evolved Anos, which now he becomes his like light novel arc. So one stupid thing I forgot to mention was that I forgot to press record when I evolved him, because I really want to showcase like his evolution version, but I just forgot to press record. So now I'm doing all of this showcase all over again, because I was doing the showcase but I wasn't looking at if I was recording or not, but now I am. So I guess it's not really important, but anyways, we're gonna go through pretty much the 5 characters that they added. But yeah, this should be honestly a pretty quick showcase, if I'm gonna be honest. I know you guys probably won't care about the animation of like the attacks. I'll showcase like the effects of like the active skills and stuff, but attack animation, I don't think you guys really care too much, so we're not gonna go through that like slowly. Alright, so the first character we're gonna showcase is Wing Ling. So this is pretty much his animation stuff. I know you guys don't care too much. Playing the Crush is actually a pretty cool move. Yeah, it looks something like that. Really insane stuff. And these are pretty much his max stats. There you go, and this is pretty much the unit's max stats. 2 million, so 2.9 SPA, and of course the range is 132. One thing to keep in mind is that these are like the, I guess, stats I have on the unit, so it could differ just a little bit depending on what type of stats you have. And I do have Exodia on most of these units, so just keep that in mind. The unit passive, so fully universal. So at final upgrade, Wing Ling sacrificed 10% of his base HP, which is pretty much this thing, one time, and to gain pretty much 10% or 100% more damage, 10% range, and negative 10% cooldown. So these are pretty much his stats after all these like gains and stuff. Next passive is Limitless Universal. At final upgrade, each attack deals greater damage to low HP enemies. So for every 1% of enemy HP loss, Wingling gains 1% damage as bonus damage. So that's pretty cool as well. And he also gets a manual ability called Create Universe. So only enemies hit by this ability will be imprisoned forever. Boss type enemies and normal enemy are stunned for 60 seconds and return to their starting point. Yeah, really OP of an ability, if I'm gonna be honest. I mean, stunned for 60 seconds and they start at back at the starting point, so really OP of a move. And this is what the animation looks like, just in case if anyone wants to take a look at it. It's really hard to tell what's happening, but hey, it looks actually pretty sick, so I don't mind that. The next unit I'll showcase is Anos, which is the light novel arc, which is also one of the new units as well. The evolution at least is a new unit. So these are pretty much max stats. Overall, pretty cool stuff. Units passive, so Final Ascendancy. Upon reaching final upgrade, cooldown is negative 10%, damage 10%, range is 10+%. Anos attack becomes and deals 2.5% damage. Okay, if an enemy has any status effect, Anos deals 1.25% more damage. So he pretty much will deal 3.75% more damage to enemies with status effects and all that. So Sovereign Heart style. On hit, enemy below 20% of HP are instant slain. Pretty OP of a move combined with Judar. All of Anos' skill bypass shield and dispel them on hit. When attacking a boss, Anos has a 0.9% chance of instant killing the target. Really OP of ability. 0.9% chance is low, but hey, you have a chance of instant killing enemy, and that's already broken as it is. Alright, he also has a manual ability as well, which pretty much increases damage by 1000% and deals and attacks all enemies across the map. So I'll show you guys what the animation looks like. It has a lot of effects going on, but this is what it looks like. He deals pretty much 11.8 million damage. That's really insane of a damage. 11.8 is really insane to all enemies on the map. That's crazy. But yeah, this is pretty much the Anos unit. Now we're gonna sell him. We're gonna showcase Roni, or Kenshi, my bad, Batosai. So he doesn't really have any ability, so just keep that in mind, but he does deal bleed damage, and these are his passives. Divine Annihilation deals 50% damage increase to bosses, pretty good. Each time this unit attacks, its damage further increased by 5% up to 50%, so you guys can see every time he attacks, his stats is going up. Has a 20% chance of stealing a critical hit. I don't really know how much more damage he's dealing with critical hit. Maybe it's 2 times more damage, 3 times more damage. I personally don't know. Instantly remove any shield status effects from enemy upon attack. That's actually really good as well. So Blazing Wrath. When this unit attacks an enemy, it applies burn, which is pretty much that thing. Deals 10% of damage over time. If this unit attacks the same enemy again while they're burning, the burn damage increase by additional 20%. So is it additional, added together, it's 30% burn possibly, if I'm not reading it wrong. So he should be dealing 30% more burn. So that's actually really strong. Yeah, all of these units in this update are actually really good. I also like this character selection that they did pick, because I have seen 3 of these animes. So pretty cool stuff. And Judar, I already showcased this character in the World Line event, but I'll go through his passive stuff. Keep in mind that I do have an artifact on him. At least in my opinion, it really shouldn't change that much. First move is called Dark Curse. If an enemy is affected by Curse, this unit deals 250% more increased damage against the enemy. He pretty much applies Curse to the enemy, so just keep that in mind. So at all time, he'll pretty much be dealing 250% more damage, or increased damage, minus the first attack that he does. The next passive is Abyssal Devour. So each attack deals 1.5% enemies max HP as bonus damage. Has a 20% chance of inflicting whatever this is, I cannot read it, which deals 2.5x increased damage. Damage further increased based on enemies within the range. For every enemy in the range, gains 0.25x bonus damage. So overall, pretty OP as well. And keep in mind that this ability is really broken, because it doesn't really matter how much HP the enemy has. He just deals 1.5% more damage. Like he takes away 1.5% of the enemy's HP, and if you have like 3 of them, that's like 4.5% of the enemy's HP, which is honestly really busted. You guys can see like the enemy's going down really quickly, and he only deals that much damage because of like the passive. Alright, and the last unit to showcase is of course Rudo, and he's pretty much from one of the newer animes. So these are his stats right now. We're gonna probably max him out, and pretty cool stuff. And he also does have crit, so that's pretty nice. So now let's go through the passive. So Chaos Restraint, each attack has a 50% chance of inflicting either slow or stun on the enemy for 2 seconds. So you guys can sort of like see the effects. The enemy was slow, some of the enemy were stunned. You guys can see that. Crimson Execution. So each attack against a bleeding enemy deals 2 times more damage, deals 75% damage to bosses and 50% damage to normal enemies. Has a 5% chance of dealing a critical hit. Each critical increase the chance by 5% up to 50%. So yeah, you guys can see he has a 50% chance of critting, which is actually really good. But yeah, I honestly don't understand like the ratio of like the crit. Does he deal like 2 times more damage, 3 times more damage to crit? I personally don't know that one. But yeah, these are pretty much his stats right now. Keep in mind that all of my units have like, I guess, different stats. So in terms of like these values on like on the right of the units, so you guys can see these are the unit stats. Overall, pretty good stats if I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, but with that said, that's it for this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Coming from the bottom, better move with caution. When I bring this out, final form, I'm a slay. When I pull up, get thunderclap, my slayers running back. Make sure these demons remember the name. Dirty like EU when I'm dead calm. Till I get hot, but I see through all your dead plots. I'm in the guys that need to cut your head off. Pull up with your demons and make it sure they next job. Been like a pillar, my lessons breathing when I'm breath locked. That wrong, thinking that's my best shot. Flower guy, he don't call me Kakada. Upper moon, lower moon, say I'm like a hot shit out. Whirlpool flow, cause I'm trying to drip. Flash dance, leaving man till I try to clips. They talk shit, see it, and it's coming out from inside your mouth. So tomorrow going out a bitch, I pull